What's up, everyone? My name is Josh, and this is Josh Unboxed, and welcome back to another episode. Today's Sunday, and that means it's time for another weekly pickups and sales video. Now, if you're new to this channel, this is something that I do on a weekly basis. I love showcasing the cards that I've picked up for the week, and also the sales that I've done throughout the week as well. In a sense, it's kind of a way for you guys to follow along my sports card journey as I try to build a PC that I'm gonna hold long term that will eventually be passed on to my son. So I feel that transparency is very, very important. And as I'm showing you these cards, I'm telling you guys the prices I paid. And as I'm showing you guys that I've sold what I've sold, I'm showing you guys the prices that I've sold. So in a sense, it's a good way for you guys to kind of follow along as I'm going through this process and just seeing what I do. So with that being said, we're just gonna jump right into it. In terms of sales, really didn't have any sales this week. Just like last week, I didn't have any sales. In a sense, what I'm trying to do is kind of build up and rebuild my inventory and set myself up for another big purchase in the future. And I think I have an idea of which card I do want to start targeting. And right now it's just building up to be able to get that card. But in terms of pickups, I got quite a few things here. First card, we're just gonna get it out of the way. This is the 1980 Topps scoring leader, Bert Irving Johnson. I did a video on this not too long ago, probably about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, showcasing what I did to get this card. So I'm not gonna talk much about it. If you guys are interested to see how I was able to get this card, you can go ahead and watch that video. It details exactly the cards that I sold and what I sold them for and how much money I ended up paying out of pocket for this card. So pretty cool card because that was one of my goals, was to acquire this card. All right, time for the rest of the pickups. First card that I got was this 2014 Davante Adams Topps Chrome rookie card. This is the Refractor. It's hard to see, but Refractor's right underneath the 114. But I paid $20 for this card. Gearing up for football, like one of my strategies was buying football cards, and Davante Adams was one player that I'm looking into and just buying them. The Topps Chrome cards are pretty affordable. Topps Chrome refractors as well. So Davante Adams is probably one of the best wide receivers in the game today. So I figured he might be a good buy. Low risk kind of thing, low risk kind of situation. Some pretty good rewards if it pans out. Next up is a 2012 Donruss Elite Series Tom Brady. This card is numbered to 999. I figured with the way Kobe, LeBron, MJ, like 4th, 5th, 6th year cards, like those cards, are starting to go up in value. With Tom Brady being who he is, 7 championships, GOAT status, I figured you can't go wrong with buying Tom Brady cards, especially cards that are numbered. So with this card, I ended up paying $6.50. So not a bad deal on this one. Next up are two 1999 UD Choice StarQuest Derek Jeter cards. Now with this set, it's pretty interesting because they come in a variety of colors or parallels, and the stars on the back here notate the rarity of it. So 3 stars, they go up to 4 stars. I believe the 4th star is the gold, and I think the golds are numbered to 100, at least for basketball, they are. So these StarQuest Jeters is a step down. The golds are pretty pricey as it is, and these cards are a step down in terms of rarity, but still nice cards to have. Still a lot rarer than the 1 star or the 2 star ones. And I got these cards for $9 a piece. Derek Jeter, big fan of his. Figured these cards were sort of low risk as well. Low risk, but also nice cards to have in the collection. Next up, this is the 1997 UD3 Jam Masters Kobe Bryant. Now this isn't an insert, it's part of the UD3 sets. And if I remember the set, they come in different types of subsets. So this is one of them, the Kobe Bryant Jam Masters. It's a pretty cool card. Paid $17 for it. Next up is this UD Generations Kobe Bryant Michael Jordan card. Now, in one of my videos, I did talk about this as being an affordable option for cards that have both Kobe and MJ on it. I ended up getting this card for $17. You can see here Kobe on the front, all foil, and then Jordan on the back, normal cardstock. But it's still a good card, especially for like looking at cards that contain both Kobe and Jordan on it and the prices that they're going for. I felt that this was a good alternative choice for that card. Here we got the 1993 Scoring King Shaquille O'Neal from Fleer Ultra. Obviously, this set is famous for the Michael Jordan Scoring Kings card, which has a crazy value. And this is the second best card in that set, in my opinion. Shaq is no slouch. I think a lot of Shaq inserts are undervalued. In a sense, I think they provide good value. That's what I should be saying. They provide good value. This card, one of them, I got this card for $60. Super clean card. Like, the surface looks really, really good. I think the only issue I have with the card is this right here, this bottom right corner. It's kind of dinged up. You can see it right there. But dude, Shaq, I think Shaq cards have a lot of room to grow, and I think this Scoring King Shaq card has a lot of room to grow as well. Gonna submit this to get graded and see what we get. Next up is a big one for me. This is the 2019 Immaculate 2020 All-Star Game jersey card, or a relic card. This is not so much as a jersey, but if you look at the back here, it says that encased materials from warm-up pants worn by LeBron James prior to the 2020 NBA All-Star Game. And the reason why I got this card and it resonates so much with me is because of the significance of this 2020 All-Star Game. With Kobe Bryant's untimely passing, the way they handled this All-Star Game in a sense to tribute both, or to honor both him and Gigi, and the way they did their jerseys, 24 and 2, really means something to me. Obviously, I would love to have a jersey card of that game, but most likely these players are not letting go of those jerseys because of the significance that it carries, so we have to settle with the warm-up pants. But it's the closest thing of getting a jersey from that actual game. It just means so much to me, with being an LA guy, and growing up and watching Kobe Bryant, to have something from that 2020 All-Star Game that represents that moment is really, really cool. I got this card for $200. Probably my favorite purchase of this week is this card. Yeah, on top of that 1980 Topps card, and just because of the significance that this card holds. Next up, speaking of Kobe Bryant, we got a 2008 StarQuest Kobe Bryant. This is the Majestic parallel. Like I said with the Jeter StarQuest, these cards came in different parallels as well, with varying rarity. Now, when I did the research on this card, I think the Majestic is the hardest one to pull. They do have a gold version, and it's crazy because it's on here, it says Majestic on the bottom here. If you look at the gold, it'll say ultra rare, but I do feel that these Majestic cards were a little harder to pull versus the gold. And we got a PSA 9 here. And the reason why I bought this card, I ended up paying $150 for this card. I shot an offer for $150 and the guy accepted. But the crazy thing was that I found the gold for this card. It was a PSA 9 as well, but the guy was asking for $400 for the card. So I don't know if people are valuing the gold higher than the Majestic, even though it could be that this Majestic might be just a harder card to pull. Kind of boggles my mind a little bit. So I thought $150 was a good price for this card. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger after the guy, after submitting the offer, and thankfully he accepted it. So that's a pretty cool card to have right there. Now this last card, or not this last card, second to last card, I know I overpaid for this card. We got a 1986 Topps Traded Tiffany Barry Bonds. This is a PSA 7. I paid $5.95 for this card, and it was an auction. I think for myself, I just got so swept up in bidding and trying to win the auction that I didn't pay attention to the value or what this card should be valued at this moment in time, per se. But this is going to be a card that I'm going to hold, for a very long time, just because, I do feel honestly that I overpaid for this card. But in its defense, the Tiffany card is a much harder card to obtain versus the Topps Traded card, because Junk Wax era, those Topps Traded Barry Bonds cards or anything from this set that is non-Tiffany, or just there's just a huge abundance of those cards, and the Tiffany cards being a little harder to come by. But this card, like I said, I'm just gonna hang on to this long term. It just kind of got swept up in the auction, and that happens sometimes. We make mistakes in that sense. But for this card, it's just gonna sit in the PC for quite some time. And the last card is 2000 metal Tom Brady rookie card. Now this card I paid $500 for. I finally decided to take the jump into a Tom Brady rookie card, and as I was looking at the different types of options they have, the metal card seemed pretty cool and affordable at the time for me in terms of what I had allocated in terms of my budget on cards this week. But the Tom Brady is one card that this card, it's a Tom Brady rookie card. I don't know what else to say, but this is not the actual Tom Brady rookie card that I want to go for. So there is another Tom Brady card that I want instead above this, and I think I'm going to work my way to getting that. And part of the deal, or part of the package that's going to help me get to there, may be this card right here. I'm going to send it off to get graded. Yeah, with the insane prices of PSA that PSA has right now, I'm going to send this card to get graded. I'm hoping to get a PSA 8 on this. There's some corner issues on here, I think top left, top bottom right, but overall surface looks very, very, very clean. So I'm quite curious to see what this card will get once I submit it to get graded, and hopefully I can use this card to help fund a purchase of a bigger Brady rookie card. So there you have it. Quite a few cards here, no sales. I apologize for that. But pretty soon we're gonna see some sales coming on as I'm trying to move into another big card. Like I said, I think the last 2 weeks was more about building inventory, and I think for next week as well, it's more focused on building inventory to be able to sell and put it into a big card. I really do thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. I do these pickup videos on a weekly basis. I do other videos on a daily basis, or at least I try to do my best on a daily basis, whether it's discussions, particular plays, just news, thoughts that I have in my head, ways to help us kind of navigate through the craziness that is the sports card world of today. So with that being said, I do truly thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.